Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
To this week's edition of A World Crisis Radio. It's Webster Tarpley reporting to you from Washington, D.C. Now, we've just had the formal opening of Budget Week here in the nation's capital, and the results are absolutely appalling. We've had the fascist Republican budget from the House of Representatives, and I say fascist with studied care. These are not gratuitous insults. These are scientific terms of description, taxonomy, classifications. Earlier in the week, we had the House of Representatives pass a budget monstrosity by 228 to 199. And then after that, we've just had the Senate pass a similar budget, not identical, but similar and converging in the same direction. That was done late on in the evening, late at night, actually, between Friday and between Thursday and Friday. So with the 26th to the 27th of March. There's only one way to put it. The Republicans who voted for these measures are fascists, and they are savages. Maybe we can call them fascist savages. Their budgets are no budgets. They are manifestos of murder. They are, in a very real sense, a ticket to a civil war, to the breakdown of civilization as we've known it. This is class war by the tools and minions of the Koch brothers. And the scoring on this budget, if the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, is going to come and do scoring, they better do the scoring in mega deaths. You will recall the ingenious movie Dr. Strangelove by Stanley Kubrick and a great cast in 1964. Right after the Cuban Missile Crisis, when people were thinking about this. And you remember that famous scene in the war room of the Pentagon where General Buck Turgidson of the Air Force, who is an advocate of preemptive nuclear war, has a notebook in his lap, or a loose leaf book, that says, "World Targets in Megadeaths." And I would suspect that from now on you're going to have Republican congressional aides, and indeed senators and congressmen, come forward carrying similar loose-leaf notebooks. Budget parameters in megadeaths. It is the only way to put it. We've been studying the bloody butcher's bill of the Republican hegemony here for the last several weeks. You remember it's 17,000 dead or dying as a result of the refusal of 36 reactionary Republican states to even provide this minimal Obamacare, right? A token plan, but at least something. 17,000 dead there. And now if the Supremes, with the fascist Justice Scalia, impeach Scalia, of course, it's another 10,000. So you're up to about 27,000. But now all of that has now been far exceeded. Here's what we look at now. With some of this we reported last week, but let's give it a summation here. First of all, on food stamps, perhaps the most important of these entitlements in in terms of immediate life or death impact, right? You got 50 million people, or almost 50 million people, who've got to have dinner tonight. They got to have breakfast tomorrow morning, and on and on. They've actually got to have 3 square meals a day, and if you take that away, then some of them are going to die. Well, the proposal is a significant cut of the food stamp budget. At the same time, in addition to savage cuts in food stamps, and I'm not able to provide numbers on this because in many cases the numbers are not provided. You've sort of got to figure them out. Remember, this is the authorization phase of the budget, right? It's not actually appropriating money. It's establishing the parameters, right? The general magnitudes into which the appropriations bills must flirt, right? Peculiarity of the U.S. system. Everything has got to be authorized, and then it's got to be appropriated. We're now in the authorization phase. That does not mean, as the rotten controlled media are arguing, that these votes mean nothing. Oh, they mean a lot. They mean a great deal. And one of the reasons I want to go into this in detail is that the media coverage of this monstrosity is designed to keep you quiet, right? To keep you essentially passive and gulled and duped until it's time to go into that bad night of Republican, fascist, genocidal austerity. The media is covering up the descent into fascism, be it the union-busting laws in Wisconsin or in Indiana or in Michigan and similar nefarious activities. So food stamps cut at the federal level, and then it will be essentially farmed out to the states in the form of block grants. As far as Obamacare goes, completely repealed, and there is no substitute. There's nothing that fills the gap. So that is now something like 14 million Americans who will be simply stripped of their health care, and that's it. You're out of luck. You're on your own. In the case of Medicare, the authorization builds in the what the Republicans call premium support. Premium support means a voucher that within a certain number of years, they say in the 8th year of this wonderful plan, you will stop getting an actual Medicare card that you can use to buy coverage as needed. It will be in the form of a voucher. And the voucher will have a number on it, and that will say your allowance for this year is $5,000. And if that's not enough, tough luck, drop dead. You will die. That's it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So it means that the entitlement, the essential human right, which is widely recognized in the world and would have been recognized in the U.S. Constitution if Roosevelt had lived. Remember, he put this right along with other rights into the State of the Union message of 1944. Medicare will essentially be put on the path to destruction. So you lose your entitlement, right? That's the wonderful gift from the Republicans. They say it's going to go bankrupt, so we're going to destroy it first. Voucher. And the voucher means that the risk goes to you, right? If you run out of money, you're simply dead. Medicaid is block granted. It is savagely cut. We went through with this last week, and it's block granted. So it's given over to the states. It's a mass of cash, a certain amount of cash, and then along come Christie and Kasich and Jerry Brown, of course. He's worried about global warming or whatever it is, right? Any governor, fascist, reactionary, whatever, social traitor, like some of the Democrats, they come along and they can use that for what they want, and you are left holding the bag. So, once again, it's Medicare voucherized, food stamps and Medicaid farmed out to the states in the form of block grants. Now, that's only the beginning of this saga of death and destruction from Congressman Price of Georgia.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Mike Stenerson for Midas Resources. At no time in history have precious metals been more important, certainly not in my 22 years in the industry. The dollar has lost over 90% of its value in the last 60 years. No fiat currency has ever survived the government printing presses. Ours is not immune. The time is now to be proactive. 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. Anything tied to the dollar is at risk. CDs, annuities, 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, you name it, so decide. Do you want to leave a legacy of wealth or debt for your family? The choice is yours. Call me at 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. Be proactive, not reactive. Call 1-800-686-2237, extension 116.
The freeze-dry guy, leader in the preparedness industry for 44 years, is closing his California warehouse. Don't miss out on this huge warehouse sale and receive discounts from 30 to 40% off on the finest Mountain House and Packaway brand freeze-dried and dehydrated foods for long-term food storage or even everyday use. Plus deep discounts on all in-stock survival gear. The Freeze-Dry Guy is offering a wide selection of freeze-dried foods in number 10 cans and even individually packaged entrees. Remember, meats, vegetables, fruits, and long-range patrol rations are the main components for any long-term food storage. This is limited to stock on hand, so hurry and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, as always, free shipping to the lower 48 states. So hurry up and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, this is limited to stock on hand. The Freeze-Dry Guy is your choice for survival food in an uncertain world.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
We are America's largest independently owned communications network, GCN.
Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. It's the program we're recording here on the 27th of March. Let me just remind you, if you want to come out and break a lance in support of Reverend Pinckney, boycotting Whirlpool, this